what would you guys prefer first? We do a recap, or you guys talk about your level ups, new abilities?
I think only Chris has one.
Chris and I thought
Unless
Kelsey too,
does
right?
too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Because I also think a recap is going to be necessary as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So, why don't we do a recap first?
Sure. So, as we recall, this is now the pseudo third arc of our campaign in a effort to investigate the attempted drowning of Omaha. You guys had visited the Shiver Me Timbers casino, in which you met with Tex, had everything explained. You met with Omaha, where you were each given a card. You met with 4 as well. And afterwards, you spent your time investigating, interviewing, talking to whoever you could about the incident that happened. And over time, you found holes in people's testimonies that led to some people having evidence that people were in rooms that they did not state that they were in. And eventually, you found, some of the ones that contradicted one another was you knew that Joker had been in the surveillance room. You knew that you guys were still suspicious of Jack. However, I don't believe you had found a clear hole in his testimony just yet. But it led you guys to questioning the former leader of the council, Ace, in which you guys spoke to him, and he said that he would explain things to you if you followed him, in which he brought you guys back into the council room, and then revealed that the glass in between the room and the waterfall, while it was keeping the sound of the waterfall out, had been only an illusion. So to follow after him, you guys ran through one after the other. Well, first making sure that you could by throwing a chair through. And were each given very strange visions. And afterwards, you found yourselves in a lightly lit stone tunnel before stone had seemed to magically rise up behind you, closing off where you guys had previously jumped through. So now it is the 4 of you in a dead-end tunnel. Only other thing I'd maybe mention in terms of Jesse's things he asked you guys to get. You guys already got the playing card. There was a watch, a light bulb, and I believe a 16-ounce bottle of Valley Dew.
Correct.
But, I mean, hey, we can get those things on, eBay.
In due time.
In due time.
We could have gotten from one of the vending machines or whatever.
So, let's go into new abilities.
So I believe I leveled up because I forgot to mark it on my paper, but I remember specifically saying in the last recording that I did level up.
Nice.
So I decided to take a move from another playbook.
Ooh.
And I figured because of what we just went through, and because I took on the role of detective, that I would go with the gumshoe ability.
Okay.
And so there's 2 elements of this that I have to kind of parse out. But basically, the move that I want to take is that the postman always ring twice. And that move is twice per mystery. As long as you follow your code, you may re-roll a roll.
Nice.
So, what exactly is this code?
So, with the agreement of the keeper, which is you, Walsh, pick a 1-sentence code that your gumshoe adheres to. And example codes are: murders must be punished, monsters must be destroyed, innocents must be saved, laws must be enforced, evil must be exposed, the weak must be protected from the powerful. just because I'm not creative enough to come up with my own, I feel like if I, in the eyes of Cliff, I would imagine that maybe the biggest one is that innocence must be saved. Because that's kind of like, I think that's just always been like a thing for him, especially since from Fireman days, like people must be saved. Just feel like it makes most sense.
Okay. I'm down for that. That's cool. All right. I'm excited for that. And and Kelsey, did you receive a new ability as well?
I know that we just said that. I don't explicitly remember leveling up. So
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else remembers me leveling up, but I don't remember that. And because I'm working off of a new sheet, I don't want to like just take a new skill if I didn't earn it.
I mean,
Just, you know.
We failed a lot last time, so that's kind of why
I did remember having quite a bit of experience. I just couldn't remember if I got put over. How many times has everybody else leveled up?
This is my second time.
I've had 2 level ups.
This would be my second.
Levels up.
yeah. Go ahead.
I feel like we've reached a point where everyone could be like level 3, you know, in that context.
Okay, so then just give me 1 second to just poke around because I wasn't prepared because I didn't remember. So just give me like a sec.
Yeah, of course. I also wanted to ask Matt too. I remember your class ability of like at the beginning of the mystery. We did that, right?
I actually don't know if we did.
I thought you guys did. I'm
we?
trying. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. But I do have
we
memory
did.
of
I think
that.
we did.
Yeah, I think we did, and I think it was like a partial success. Yeah.
All right, we're good on that then.
What's the partial success meaning again?
You get a mission associated with the mystery, and if you do it, you'll get some info or help too.
Yes, I remember because text was specifically like find out who's in the second hierarchy.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. That's the shit we got to figure out. Who's all in the second hierarchy?
Yeah, there's a lot going on at the moment.
Yep.
And we're chasing after Ace after being baptized with the waterfall.
Yeah.
Vision baptized.
What was it called on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? A lifeline when you'd like reach out to somebody. Okay, so like I'm just quickly looking through other people's moves, and under the flake, there's something called Net Friends, and it's essentially a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire lifeline, and it just made me laugh because it's like contact one of your internet friends plus charm on a 10+. They're available and helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure from all your campaigning that
You've
you've
won
done,
$200,000.
that you have many backers that you could contact through.
Yeah,
You know, your
I was trying to find
illegal
something.
backwards, documents.
Yes. I was just trying to find something that would be, like, beneficial and not just, like, something random and cool. Hold on, sorry.
Well, I don't think we're in a case where you're playing like a self-destructive character where it's like I'm playing to my character and then just like I don't know, killing other party members. I trust you guys to to be cooperative. So even if you're
I feel like I'm drawn to this one. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's the Net Friends. I'll share it because I have a screenshot of it right here.
Sure.
By the way, well, just to keep this in mind, and you can choose whether to adhere me to this or not. The code, this code defines your gumshoe, and anytime you violate your code, you forfeit all code-related moves, which would be the Postman always rings twice, and the ability to spend luck points.
Ooh.
So
you can hold me to that. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. I haven't used luck points enough anyway.
So when you break your code, you lose all of that, or is it like you break it and then you can get it back?
These forfeits last either until the next mystery or you make amends.
Okay, all right.
And as long as you follow the code, people will sense your sincerity. I don't know if I necessarily want to take on like a bunch of gumshoe stuff. I'm fine with just keeping the ability and then having the code kind of like oversee that, because it goes on to say you receive +1 ongoing from manipulate so on, and you may not be possessed or charmed by any sort of supernatural alien or I feel like that's like a little too like overpowered. I'm fine with just having the ability and having the code.
Okay. I mean, if whatever's under the single move, you can take,
Yeah. Yeah, the code is like the general, like it's just associated with the gumshoe. It's just it's like its main purpose, main thing.
Mm-hmm. And I just looked over Net Friends too. That looks good to me. Now if you guys would humor me, or Kelsey, if you would humor me, I was wondering if we could do just a little flashback.
Sure.
So I was wondering if we could act out that scene, but still get to the same backstory conclusion, if you'd like.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
So I want to take us back to the exact same scene that Holden was remembering when he was training under 4 with Tex. Looking around at the other people around the casino, knowing who to read and how to read people. And when he initially took in a man that had looked, was in a tuxedo, but looked a bit messed up, a bit in shambles, and a bit like they had lost so much, we now know and can see that this is past Jeremiah. And Jeremiah, you are at the Shiver Me Timbers casino, and you've lost a lot here. And as you are beginning to head out of the casino for the night, you kind of stop for a moment, just feeling defeated, feeling like there is, like you're kind of been brought to a dead end. You've been on the run for a bit now, but I think at this point, your confidence has been starting to take a couple hits, and you're starting to lose hope in what to do, and there is this sense of fear, but also this sense of depression that had brought you to, let's just bet it. Let's just bet what we have. And at this point, you're at one of your lowest points and feeling extremely defeated when out of the casino, now at the front, appears a very handsome-looking man, 5 o'clock shadow with short, darker hair, who walks directly up to you. Rough night?
One of many.
I can see that. It's one of the things I've learned is to really be able to read people, and I can read you, and I can tell that you've been through a lot. I want to offer you something. And this is a deal that I don't make with too many people, but it's a kind of deal that if you want to take me up on, it's going to change your life forever.
I've been running for a while, and I can't remember when I wasn't, and I'm tired, and I don't know what else to do, so I'll listen to your offer.
While he speaks, he kind of twirls his fingers around, and he makes a card appear in his hand, and then disappear with just a sleight of hand of just one. I can make it so that you can be a lot harder to find. That you're a bit quicker on your feet, a bit more charming, and quite a bit better at escaping when you need to. But the deal comes in the way that at the end of your life, when all is said and done, your memories, the things you wouldn't need after death anyway, go to me.
I look down and stagger a little bit because I had quite a few dirty Shirleys at the slots. I look back up and I offer my hand to make the deal.
He takes your hand and he shakes it, and the moment that you shake hands, you feel immediately physically and mentally better. It feels like a rejuvenating feeling. And it's this feeling like you haven't felt this good in a while. And you look around for a moment as if to double check, like, am I in the same place? I did not feel like this a moment ago. As you let go of his hand and look back, he is gone. And for a very long time, that stuck with you, and you always wondered if this was a real guy. Maybe you had too much to drink, or was this the devil who had just, come into the mortal world to offer you some weird deal? But you found things got easier after that. You found that words came to you more easily, and you were able to be even more persuasive than you already were as a politician. You found that you were able to be quicker and just more wittier and more smarter when analyzing things, and you just felt better about yourself. And even at the end of the day, sometimes you'd think, like, memories, it's not like that's something that you can take with you, can you? And while it's been this thing on the back of your mind, it's been something you've been thinking about a little bit more since you saw Jack again in the casino. So you guys have run through the waterfall, and the door has closed behind you. And I guess I could use the word dank. That was the first word that came to mind. The walls are a bit humid, and they kind of have like a glistening way to them, where this dim, almost torch-like light that must be up and around this curve. You can kind of make out the walls, and especially since it's shut behind you, it's very hard to see. You can barely see the outline of the chair, maybe a few feet ahead of you guys, but the tunnel goes about 30 feet forward and curves around to the left. And this is where we left you guys.
Y'all okay from the vision juice?
I
Never better.
I think I think that I gotta tell Barbara not to worry about the garden this year. Y'all gotta have to watch that last episode to remember what my vision was to get that joke.
Does anybody want a reminder what their vision was?
I knew that I just saw bright green eyes.
Yeah.
I had some sort of meteorite land in my backyard.
Yeah,
I feel like
it looked
mine
like
was existential in some way, but I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, Cliff's was a small meteor, like, hitting his backyard. Hold'em's was, like these two human green eyes. Jeremiah's was, he was in handcuffs, and, like, floating above him was this almost angelic-like form, and that's all he could take in. And then Williams was a little weird, because he got one of those weird memories again that aren't his, and then he also got a vision of some, like, grotesque pulsating mass. Something, like, living and organic.
Me, though.
Pulsating.
And, yeah. And yeah, so that one was a little weird. They were all really weird, but that's where we're at.
Cool.
Well, are we gonna chase after this?
Yep,
this
but
guy?
yeah, let's go.
Sure. So as you guys make your way down the tunnel, you find that it's at a slight decline, so you have to be a little bit careful because you can't see too well. And you follow, feeling the wall around you. I mean, it's not too claustrophobic. It's like a pretty hallway-ish size here and there. It's not perfect, but as you make your way around, it continues to curve left until it's kind of made a U, and then after only about like a minute of walking, using your sense of direction, you can tell you're kind of facing the way you were previously in that direction, but just, farther to that left. And the hallway splits in two different directions.
Okay. So I've never been back here before. I don't know if there's a specific way to go, or if we should split up, or what we should do. But yeah, this is a little weird.
Well, I think that if we go ahead and split up and it's 2 and 2, I mean, at least if anything bad were to happen, someone will be there to help.
Oh, Matt, I also wanted to ask you, don't you have an ability that, like, at the beginning of the mystery you roll, and then you can get, like, +1s randomly here and there, or,
I can look at it whenever I want. And I haven't on this one yet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is
I'm gonna do that right now.
So what exactly does that entail? Is it, like...
Once per mystery, I may use the fortune. If I look at what the future holds, I roll plus weird. On 10 plus, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a miss, I get bad information, and the keeper decides how it affects you. I can spend the hold to either have a useful object ready, be somewhere where I'm needed just in time, take +1 forward, or give +1 forward to another hunter, or retroactively warn someone about an attack so it doesn't happen.
Okay. I was used to us doing that at the beginning, but that one I could not remember us doing.
Yeah.
I adopted a skill from my first one, where it actually says at the beginning of each mystery, if you look for the wider patterns that current events might hold, roll plus sharp. So I don't know if that actually requires me to roll. When it says you look for the wider patterns, I'm not entirely sure if that's something I roll at the beginning.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. Hold on. Here you go. I just pasted it in. But it's at the beginning of each mystery, if you look for the wider patterns that current events might be part of, roll plus sharp. And then there are details regarding what you roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This one I do not remember if we did, but like I was kind of saying
forgot
with
that
Matt's
I had
too.
it for a few recordings.
Mm-hmm. So like I was saying with Matt's too. Like if you guys want to roll for it, go for it.
Yeah, let's. I'll do that now. Just to
Sure, and I will try my best to
get this up.
to answer things however I can.
All right. So I'll just be like, all right. Let me see if I can figure out where he went, and try to like look in the future. That's my justification for this moment using that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a 6, but it is +2, so I do get a mixed success with 8.
All right, and that's your fortunes, right? So,
Yep. So I can't really do that right now. I'm not. I don't think I'm able to use it right now, but
yeah. So I feel like that because now that you've rolled that, I think that's something that I can give you.
well, it's a hold, so I can choose when I want to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then Kelsey, if you want to roll your connect the dots, if you want, or you can hold on to it.
No, I'll roll it. I'll just get it over with.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
I don't know what this means.
So you rolled a 10.
Yep.
So unless you have any negatives, but I think it's plus sharp.
It is plus sharp, which is +1.
Okay, so that brings you to 11. That means that you get to hold 3. So that means that you can, at any point, ask me any three of those questions.
Okay, cool.
Or if anybody even just wants to make a investigate a mystery roll to maybe figure out which way would be better to go.
Was just about to say. I have a 0 for investigate mystery, so I think someone else should take that.
What is that? Which one? Sharp?
Sharp.
Yeah.
I have +1, but I'm sure
I have +2 in that.
Yeah.
If you want me to investigate.
Do it.
All right.
Last game has +3. +1, okay.
All right, let's investigate. That is a 7 + 2. That's a 9. Mixed success.
All right, hold that 1.
Where did it go?
Where did it go? That's a good one. So with that, you look down the hallways, and the path to the left, it seems to incline and then slightly decline and then curve around to the left. And that one you would assume would go back to the casino. But you can actually see along, and that remains stone. And then the other path to the right, which is also which actually is a slight... Alright, that was dumb on me. I was like, this side inclines up and this side inclines down on my notes. That's not the right word. And then the other side goes slightly down, and you can actually see what looks like either from dust just building up in these hallways, or from, some kind of maybe rubble, or maybe he just had some dirt on his shoes. You can see Ace's footsteps, or fresher footsteps, heading to the right.
All right, let's go.
Oh, I'm kind of curious about the left.
Nope. We're gonna go to the right. Ace is that way. Let's get him.
Sure. So now, as you are heading down the tunnel to the right, that same kind of off-putting feeling when you guys would, maybe go through the secret entrances or move around these secret areas where you're in these tunnels that are just like stone and cave wall, and then, you walk onto like hotel carpet. You find yourselves, no door, just opening into a room, that carpet on the floor seems like a very nice, almost luxury rec center. There is it's a rectangular room with, closer to you, there seems to be a pool table that has its longer side facing you, and there are 2 doors to the left, 2 doors to the right, as well as a larger double door straight across from you, alongside, straight across. In the corner, there seems to be another table set up with some chairs around it, as if, if some people wanted to sit down and play a game, they could. There seem to be bookshelves that line the walls. On one side, now behind you, you can see there are 2 vending machines on the wall, and there seem to be some other chairs stacked up in the other corner. It just seems like you've gone from secret cave to, like, cool hangout sesh in, like, a matter of seconds, and it is that, like, once again, total whiplash of one environment to the other.
Huh.
But what majoritively sticks out to you is, of course, Ace near the double doors, as if almost waiting, turns around to meet you all.
Hey, so what the fuck was that?
All right, and now we can finally speak in peace. And with that, hold up, your cell phone goes off.
I look at it.
It's Tex.
Someone's
calling. Tex is calling you.
Text is calling. Okay, without taking my eyes off of Ace, I pull my phone up and go, Tex, I hope this is important.
And with that call, it's hard to hear, but you hear almost a fumbled hold, and you hear what sounds like a body hitting the floor, and
Tex?
then you can hear like a very soft like breathing, but it's a very like relaxed breathing as if someone were asleep, and you can hear footsteps stepping around.
Tex. Tex.
Oh, is that from the ensemble upstairs? They've been put to sleep. None of them will be hurt.
You bastard. I hang up my phone.
You hand him your phone?
No, I hang up my phone. Jesus.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's for you. Here you go.
You don't want to leave an open
Gift.
line.
What is going on?
So, you all asked me about the truth. About Omaha and about what had happened. And yes, it was me who had dipped him into the shore, into the river. But I was not with the intention of... it was not with the intention of murder. It was with the intention of putting him into the state that he is in now.
Why?
Because it makes things much easier for, well, the person I've been ordered to lead you to. I've been told that if you showed promise, if you showed at least the ability to connect enough dots, as you've been doing well so far between these monsters and, now being able to look beyond what the order has set forth, I've been told to bring you down here and meet who I take orders from.
So, this was all for me.
No, not exactly. It wasn't about you.
No, listen. No, shut up, listen. You hurt someone. You drove someone insane to test me.
No. We drove somebody insane so that they could have their mind opened into the unknown. So that we would have, or he would have, another mind to seek into. You, on the other hand, while at first were more a thorn in the side, have, and while I don't agree with him on this, he's been looking at you, as of now, trying to twist you into a more positive light, someone that could work with him rather than against him.
Why would I want to do that?
Because apparently, between this entire order and councils, you, and I guess your little friends, have at least been able to see past the immediate illusions, the immediate, flares and curtains. And he wants to see if things can be resolved peacefully, rather than continuing to be an issue.
You mean a violent issue, like you, I don't know, sedating everyone upstairs? I don't know what just happened, but clearly you're not coming from this from a peaceful standpoint at the moment.
No, I understand that. And, we do right now what we can to keep things a secret. When the initial issue happened with number 9, and the council had to be reorganized, I was not worried at all, because the council is more of a figurehead. It is the secondary council and the mind above that works much more in tandem to keep the order in place. And when Omaha and Tex, or even Craps, where they want to stick their noses in higher places where they don't belong, I'm told to not only take care of it in a way that will keep them from asking further questions, but to also be a conduit for the larger picture.
I'll hear you out. Just leave Tex alone.
Okay. I've been ordered to take you to him. And he turns around and walks through the double doors.
Can they come with?
Of course. I think they've seen enough.
Guys, I don't know what's gonna happen in there. I'm just as confused as you are. I'm sorry if this turns out poorly.
Well, we're in it together, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Hey everybody, it's me, your neighborhood cult leader, one member strong. Not too many announcements this week. The Virtual Ball Boys Football League will be moving from Twitch streams to the podcast since the season is over, so now you can check that out when it airs. Other than that, I also got the chance to work on a project called The Popcast with Matthew J. Walsh. You can find that on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts very soon. It's also on Instagram and Twitter as PopBoyReviews98. Now let's get back to the table party.
As you guys enter into this new room, it is extremely open. As opposed to the more man-made looking rooms you were in previously that have been renovated or that the money was thrown at in order to be comfortable, this room almost seems like a stone cathedral. It is large in the sense that the ceiling is incredibly high and it feels round in a way where you still see a couple doors in your peripheral to the left and the right, but in front of you in front of the rounder room is a few things. There is an even larger, almost pit that actually has its own shore and water that seems to be ebbing and flowing back and forth. And there seem to be channels even farther where the water would probably be deeper that the water is flowing through. But you can see in the middle of this water seems to be this very large stone, probably maybe the size of a car, that seems to be sitting in the center of it. And the water, as it flows back and forth, seems to be able to flow farther on the edges and stays rather close near the stone. And in the center, you see, sitting in a reclining chair that again contrasts this, like, old ancient place with this, like, very new looking comfortable chair that seems to have different technological instruments just wired into the sides. There seems to be a little food tray on the side. You see what looks like a very, very elderly man, with almost completely thinning and gone hair, very wrinkly face, where if Ace is old, you can't even imagine how old this guy is, and he is just sunk into his chair. But even though he looks extremely tired and old, and you can even see him very slowly breathing, he has these two very alive green eyes that immediately look at your entire group. As you also walk into, you realize that behind you, in almost this auditorium way, there are giant TVs and screens and cameras that almost seem to just line the opposite wall, as if where he's sitting, he could just watch a million things. And you can see the news on one, another news channel, totally different screens, some of them even being surveillance around the casino. But it is all of these just different television and computer monitors taking up this entire wall that are all just tuned into different places. I'm going to share
on TV 57 is Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh,
Sorry.
I have that one open already.
I'm going to share a picture of the map now, so that it might be a little bit easier to understand. Okay. I mean, there's some things it gives away, like where through one of the doors is the gaming area.
Sure.
The gaming. God, we're gamers.
This is giving me flashbacks to health class. That council meeting room is an ovary, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Goes from one to two tubes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yep.
It's not a good ovary, it's an ovary.
So, I'm sorry, so where are we specifically at the moment?
So you have just entered into the big room.
Which
Okay.
is
the room with the little stick figure guy sitting in the
chair.
Yeah, he's got his little recliner
So
chair.
cute.
So yeah, you guys came
How
through the
many
tunnel.
times do we have to teach you, old man?
You just came through the tunnel. The table that has the triangle on it, that was the pool table. There was the vending machines and stuff behind you. And then you just walked through the door that was straight across from it into the much larger room.
Okay.
And then the thing to the right is basically indicating that that's a giant wall just covered in TVs.
okay. Hello. So you must be the true leader of all this shit, huh?
Wow.
Yes.
Holden's fucking done.
Ace, would you leave us for a moment? I would like to just speak with them privately.
And Ace is like, "Sir, are you sure?" And he seems very uncomfortable with this.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure. I would just like to talk to them on my own.
Okay. And then he kind of gives you all a look.
If you need me,
I'll be back in the other room. And he goes back through those double doors.
I chirp him. I'm just kidding. That's not. No, I just. No, that's not canon. That's not canon.
And
that's not.
he shuts the
That's
doors
very.
behind him. And the old man is like, he kind of just like moves his fingers in his little chair, like, so, what would you like to know?
Well, you wanted to talk to us, so I figured that was how we were going to start.
Sure. So, in my many years of running this order, I have not come into too many bumps, but this is a big bump. Things have gotten a little out of hand, and and as I've been trying to keep things under some kind of control, I know you and the people you've been working with have been doing what you think is right as well. So I wanted to hopefully work together in the best way that we can. I have been...
If anyone else has anything to say.
I have been...
If anyone else wants to say anything. Shit.
Yeah, go right ahead and interrupt me.
No.
No, that wasn't a sarcastic comment. I promise you. As no. But as a person and another player, like, feel free to interrupt this old fart.
So here's the thing. Like,
or even if you just want to table talk.
I feel like I want to, like, ask questions, but I also feel like this is very much a Hold'em thing. Like, this is his hierarchy.
It is, but I like if you guys have shit to say, feel free. Like even if this is my thing, I don't want to hog everything.
So what I'm not, and this maybe is a question that needs to be asked, but what I'm not entirely clear on at this moment is this guy the big bad that we're trying to, or is he just a dick? Like, what is the role here? So then what I was going to say is my questions that I have available to me might help with some guiding. I'm going to repaste them. Just, I get to ask 3 of any of these at any time. So if there's something that stands out to you, I mean, is this person connected to current events more than they are saying? He hasn't said much yet. So I feel
like we should ask some questions before asking that.
Yeah, I agree. So I just am re-providing them in case something inspires.
Cool. All right, so I'll start with something. So, what do you want with me specifically? Is it just the fact that we've been figuring shit out about the what's going on, or is it something more?
No, it's nothing special. No chosen one or anything. Much more. You've all been very observant and very, very busy, and I think there's very good qualities in that, but why try to have 2 problems at once when I can try to work with things, try to work smarter and not harder, and try to work together. And
what exactly does that entail? I forgot to do my my voice.
Who said that?
Yeah, right. it's the god. It's like just whoa.
What does that entail?
I was born around. It's been around 1618. And around 1644, I found the rock you see behind me.
I was camping, and I was traveling, and I could see a shooting star coming down from the sky, but instead of it disappearing, it hit the ground hard. And it landed in what was a lake, but right on the shoreline, and it caused a very, very large crater. And when I touched the water that the rock touched, I was given visions of possible futures, of different moments in time and information I would have never have known. And I have used that information to continuously grow as an organization. And I understand the power that it holds, and I founded this order a long time ago, and we use these premonitions to carry financial and political gain, but we also used it to save other people. And this is something that not even highest members of the government know, other than a very select few that have joined the order. But it is a tool that has allowed me to continuously increase my knowledge and how much I know. I've been here a very, very long time, and for a while I have been training Ace to be my next heir, or my next one to step in and be in charge of this knowledge and this power. But I believe he is too hasty. I believe that he is too quick to violence. And I was curious of the man that I was hearing about upstairs, who had been poking little holes in the secrecy.
By holes, do you mean just like telling people? Or
No, nothing that way. More the way in which it seems like things have just continued to pick up since your first mission. After...
Yeah, that's not exactly like my fault.
I don't believe it is. But I think you've gotten this far by recruiting the right people, and I was curious of what kind of man you were, and of what kind of knowledge you could handle.
If I may, but why are you going out of your way to hurt our own members of the order?
We have been trying to keep things extremely secret for a very long time, out of the fear that this kind of knowledge and power could fall into the wrong hands. And while we have had the first layer of the order that is overseen by the 10-member hierarchy and council, there is the secondary council that then oversees them. And that council, which does in fact have Ace on it, and a few other members, they then follow my orders and follow my lead, and if anything were to happen to me, it could be very, very bad. I've been here for a long time, and I've seen a lot, and it would be like losing a library of information. And over time there have been people who want to look into the next step up that hierarchy, or even to where it leads. And so, once again, instead of disposing of anyone, we have been... Or I realized a long time ago, someone can be exposed to the river, opened to the universe, and take in mass amounts of information and continue to take in that information even afterwards. And once they're ready, I can absorb that information.
So, with Omaha and 4, what do you do to them to absorb that information? Do you have to kill them? Do you eat them? I don't know how this works.
No, I of course wait until their time has come, but when they are near death, their memories and their experiences are transferred to me. And I increase my data bank of knowledge, and instead of it being something abstract and hard to understand and overwhelming, I am able to sort through it and understand the mysteries of our universe and the things that us as humans would have never comprehended otherwise.
But I guess what I don't understand is what is this purpose of holding on to all this information? What good is it going to do that you're going to keep it for yourself and you're going to hurt people in order to make sure that you get to keep this information?
We hurt people because we're playing... Well, we're protecting ourselves. It's the people who are trying to look into the council for
yeah, that's not as much of a good defense as you think it is, dude.
Yeah, you're selfish is what you're saying.
Why I understand that this is something that you need to protect, like a river that has infinite knowledge. That's not something that the general people need to know. I get that. That would be bad if everyone knew about this like specific thing, because it would be exploited by everyone in the same way that you're currently exploiting it. But the way that you're going about this with dealing with you're dealing with people's lives, and even if you're like waiting until they're about to die anyway, their lives aren't going to be the same. They're going to suck, and they're barely going to be people for the rest of their existence. That's
for the
not
fact
okay.
that you're going to get to hold the power.
Table Party has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at The Table Party, and find more of our work at Team Chaos Productions. See you again soon. Later.